everyone, Dhara here. From the title of today's video, you may get that today we are going to discuss biotechnology in the plant disease management. So basically, what is biotechnology? In general terms, we know that in the biotechnology we are manipulating the genetic makeup of particular living organism and then modifying it as per our needs, and then we are multiplying the living organism so that we can have the multiple copies of them and we can have the products or newer or improved technology or improved organism which can be used in a many ways. So if one can define the biotechnology, it can be like this, that it is defined as there are three keywords, note my words. It is defined as the first is manipulation. It is defined as a manipulation, genetic modification and multiplication of a living organism through novel technologies such as tissue culture or genetic engineering, which results in usage of this living organism in a variety of ways by giving improved or new organisms. So we learned the definition of biotechnology. Now second comes to tissue culture. So what is tissue culture? It can be defined as an in vitro growing of a plant from an ex plant in a controlled condition is a tissue culture, which is the practices of tissue culture. Okay. Now second comes the genetic engineering. So it is the technology by which it is possible to isolate a single or a particular gene from one organism and insert into the another organism and express the particular gene inserted into the another organism at the right time. Okay, so cells of plant may culture in a specified medium by using tissue culture, and by genetic engineering we can insert a particular isolated gene from one organism to another organism. So here we completed first biotechnology definition, genetic engineering, and the third is tissue culture. I will link all the material for betterment of you guys. Okay, so let's come to another point, which is virus resistant plants through the usage of biotechnological tools. So suppose if you are going to the tobacco field and you are coming with the sample which is infected from the tobacco mosaic virus, but you don't know because the infection is very less. So if you are growing particular tissue cultured plant, so you may need explant. You got the leaf and then you put it for multiplication, cell proliferation in tissue culture. Okay, so you may notice that all the cells are not infected uniformly from that tobacco mosaic virus. If the virus infection is there, then all the cells should have the uniform infection, but in this case you may find particular cell has lower infection whereas particular cell has higher infection of tobacco mosaic virus. So why is this so? So there may be two reasons. First reason is, suppose this is the virus and this is our plant. So so virus multiplication cannot cope up with the plant cell proliferation. So there may be chances that lesser infection and higher plant growth, or maybe increased plant cell proliferation, which cannot virus cope up. Okay, virus cannot cope up with plant's cell proliferation speed. So there may be chances that infection may be lower. This was the first reason. Now the second reason is the plant cell proliferation starts in a lower infection of virus, then chances are there for the mutagenesis. So the plant cell get mutagenesis and then they became resistant. Then those cells which became resistant through mutagenesis can be used for culturing further for the resistant plant. Okay, so this was the concept. Now here we go in the definition of somaclonal variation. So what is somaclonal variation? Somatic means vegetative. Okay, so it refers to generally the cells which is derived from the vegetative cells, but they possess significant genetic variability. One can define the somaclonal variation is like it refers to tissue culture derived variation where plants are regenerated from the vegetative cells itself, but they possess significant genetic variability. Okay, this definition may be asked in exams, what is somaclonal variation and how it is helpful. Okay, so now we are moving on a coat protein mediator resistance. So we all have heard that coat protein mediator resistance or coat protein. Basically, the name itself has an answer. Coat protein. Coat protein. So suppose this is a viral RNA and this is a coat around the viral RNA, which referred as coat protein. So suppose this is a plant. For successful infection of a virus needs to remove the coat protein and then infect the plant. Okay. Now if plant can produce the coat proteins, then if the viral RNA has removed its coat protein and which is infecting currently to the plant, but if plant release the coat protein through the genetic engineering, yes, here comes the genetic engineering and biotechnological tools. We can insert the gene into the plant which produce the coat protein, which can be extracted from a virus itself. So if the plant produce the coat protein, then coat protein will cover the viral RNA and it become uninfective. It cannot infect because it has already the coat protein. So naked viral RNA cannot infect it. So this can be used as a coat protein mediated resistance. Okay, and also there are many plants which varieties are available, resistance variety for a particular virus using coat protein mediated resistant technology. Okay, so here comes the second. We have studied the coat protein mediated resistance in a recombinant DNA technology. So now we will go through plant protein which inhibits the fungi. You may have heard the name of phytoalexins and other related stuff which can be used as a inhibition against the fungi, or it may be virus or anything, plant pathology, plant pathogens basically. Okay, so we will see it. There are 3 examples of these proteins and which are extracted from the plant pathogen itself but used in a plant for the resistance of particular plant pathogens. Okay, so first is transgenic tobacco plants. Here comes the enzymic action. So transgenic tobacco plant expressing acetyl transferase, which is the enzyme which detoxifies the TAB toxin. Now what is TAB toxin? See, the TAB toxin is the toxin released by pathogen Pseudomonas syringae PV pathovar tabaci, which is causal organism of wildfire disease of tobacco, which it produced the TAB toxin, and the transgenic tobacco plant showing the acetyl transferase enzyme which inactivates this TAB toxin, so which can be used for resistance against this wildfire disease of tobacco. Okay, then there is another example which is same in the transgenic tobacco plant. One phytoalexin named resveratrol. Yes, resveratrol, which is a phytoalexin and which shows the resistance against Botrytis cinerea, which is also a fungi. So there are two examples. Also, the third example which I was talking about is related to Rhizoctonia solani. So what is in that particular case? Transgenic tobacco plants constitutively expressing the chitinase enzyme, which helps to resist the Rhizoctonia solani. So we can use that enzyme to control the Rhizoctonia solani. Not only in the tobacco plants, we can use it in some other plants using genetic engineering technology and biotechnological tools. So today's session is completed. In today's session we have completed the biotechnology definition, the tissue culture, genetic engineering, how we can use it in a minimalistic way, the cold protein mediator resistance, the virus replication, how virus resistance plant can be found in a callus culture, and the toxin related theory where toxin can be used for plant resistance. Okay, so now comes the meristem tip culture. Meristem tip culture or shoot tip culture. Basically, shoot tip culture, suppose this is a plant, then this is the meristem, here the meristem is located, or shoot tip culture. Basically, this method is used and most famous for virus resistant plant production. So how it is helpful in that? See, the meristematic tissues are fast, highly proliferating in nature, so the virus cannot cope up with their speed. Then second, there are competition for key metabolites in the plant and virus itself, but growth of plant is higher than the virus multiplication, so the all key metabolites will used by the plant itself, so virus multiplication remain lower. Then sometimes what happen, production of substances which result in a breakdown of viruses. Meristem cells produce some kind of substances which helps in breakdown of the virus. And also virus has lack of plasmodesmatal or vascular tissues, which helps, basically these tissues help in connecting, so nutrient channels, but virus is lack of this particular channels or connection, so they cannot gain particular nutrients. There are 3 reasons, and also there are 2 reasons remaining. What happens, sometimes there are deficiency in some key components of the machinery of the virus, which again leads to reduce the virus multiplication rate. Then 5th reason comes the presence of inhibitors of viral replication. There may be the presence of inhibitory substance for the virus replication. There are 5 reasons which can explain the mechanism underlying the resistance of meristem to the virus. First is lack of plasmodesmatal or vascular tissues which connects each other. Second is competition of key metabolites for rapidly dividing meristem cells. Then comes production of substance in meristem tissues, which results in the breakdown of virus. Then 4th, lack of some basic machineries in the virus multiplication. There are 4, and the 5th one is there are some substance which inhibits the viral replication. These 5 reasons may be asked in your exam, such as why the meristematic tissue culture explains to be virus-free plant growth, or why the meristem culture is used for virus-free plantlets. Okay, so today's session is completed. Stay home, stay safe, and stay only at home unless and until it's necessary to go outside, and take care of yourself. And remember, you can learn from home. If you find any query, then please let me know in the comment sections, or you can contact through the Google Classroom itself. Okay, bye.